In the early 1970s, Santa Cruz, California, was supposed to be a sanctuary, a coastal paradise shaped by surf culture, free love, and the optimism of a new generation. College students hitchhiked without fear, communes thrived in the hills, and life felt open and safe. But beneath this peaceful surface, something monstrous was growing. Bodies began to appear, sometimes incomplete, sometimes washed ashore. Young women vanished without explanation. Panic spread quietly, then all at once. The media would give the killer a name, the co-ed butcher. What made this case truly horrifying wasn't just the brutality of the crimes, but the truth that would later emerge. The killer wasn't hiding in the shadows. He drank with police officers. He joked with them. He listened as they discussed the very murders he committed. This is the story of Edmund Kemper, a man who looked harmless, sounded intelligent, and concealed one of the darkest minds in criminal history. Santa Cruz, before the horror, before the murders, Santa Cruz was defined by freedom. The University of California campus had opened in the mid-1960s, attracting students from across the country. Hitchhiking was common, trusted, and normalized. The counterculture movement flowing down from San Francisco encouraged openness and rebellion against fear. This environment unintentionally created vulnerability. Young women traveled alone. Trust was given easily. No one imagined a predator would exploit this atmosphere so brutally. When body parts began appearing in the ocean and remote mountain areas, disbelief set in. Residents struggled to reconcile the violence with their surroundings. Law enforcement faced an unprecedented challenge. Missing persons with no clear suspects, no consistent crime scenes, and no obvious motive. Santa Cruz wasn't prepared for evil that blended in this well. The co-ed butcher emerges. The victims were young, intelligent, and full of potential. College students, a ballet dancer, a babysitter. They vanished one by one. Anita Lucchesa, Marianne Pesci, Aiko Koo, Cindy Shaw, Rosalind Thorpe, Allison Liu. Their disappearances seemed random, but investigators soon realized a pattern: hitchhiking co-eds. As fear intensified, police tried unconventional methods, detaining underage hitchhikers for their own safety. Public backlash followed. The town was divided between freedom and survival. With no suspect in sight, the killer gained a terrifying reputation. He dismembered bodies. He scattered remains. He erased evidence with chilling precision. What investigators didn't know was that the man responsible was already among them, laughing, listening, and learning. Edmund Kemper, the man no one suspected. Edmund Kemper didn't look like a criminal mastermind. He was friendly, soft-spoken, intelligent. Despite his towering size, 6'9", nearly 300 pounds, he came across as gentle and polite. He frequented a bar popular with law enforcement. Officers trusted him. Some even liked him. This was no accident. Kemper was deeply fascinated by law enforcement. Sitting beside officers gave him a sense of control. He could listen to the investigation unfold, hear the theories being discussed, and quietly reassure himself of how unnoticed he truly was. Each conversation strengthened his belief that he was more perceptive than those around him. He wasn't trying to disappear. He was putting on a role. And while investigators searched for someone dangerous, that very person was calmly sharing drinks and conversation with them. A troubled childhood. Kemper's destructive path did not begin suddenly. His early life was shaped by emotional neglect, constant criticism, and fear. His mother was controlling and verbally harsh, while his father remained distant and eventually absent. From a young age, Kemper showed deeply concerning patterns: intense fantasies, a fixation on dominance, and troubling behavior toward animals and objects. He struggled with impulses and thoughts that were far beyond what most children could understand or express. Often isolated by his mother and confined alone at night, Kemper grew increasingly resentful. That isolation became symbolic, a space where anger, bitterness, and distorted thinking took root. By adolescence, these inner fantasies had grown more complex, more disturbing, and increasingly intertwined with power and control, setting the stage for far more serious consequences later in life. First, murders and institutional failure. At just 15 years old, Kemper murdered his grandparents. Instead of permanent containment, he was sent to a psychiatric institution. There, he learned how the system worked. Kemper was intelligent, observant. He studied psychological tests, memorized diagnoses, and learned exactly what professionals wanted to hear. He became a model patient, assisting staff and gaining access to disturbing case files. After 5 years, he was released. Despite warnings, he was allowed to live with his mother again, the very person at the center of his rage. The system believed he was cured. He wasn't. The co-ed killings. Once free, Kemper refined his method. He rehearsed, picking up hitchhikers, gaining trust, letting them go. Practice runs. When he finally acted, the violence was calculated and absolute. He trapped victims inside his car. He isolated them. He murdered them methodically. What followed was unspeakable. Necrophilia, dismemberment, and deliberate disposal of remains across multiple locations to confuse investigators. Each crime fed his sense of control. Each victim became an object, not a person. And still, no one suspected him. The murder of his mother. Kemper's final psychological breaking point came when police confiscated his gun during a routine inquiry. He believed the game was over. Terrified his mother would discover the truth, he acted on a fantasy decades in the making. He murdered her with extreme brutality, then desecrated her body in acts fueled by rage, humiliation, and obsession. He destroyed her vocal cords, symbolically silencing the voice that haunted him. After killing her friend to delay discovery, Kemper fled. 3 days later, exhausted and empty, he called police and confessed to everything. Confession, trial, and legacy. Unlike many killers, Kemper wanted to talk. He confessed in detail. He led police to crime scenes. He explained his thinking with disturbing clarity. In 1973, he was convicted of 8 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. Experts still debate his motive. Was it abuse, biology, environment, or an unthinkable combination of all three? What remains undeniable is the devastation left behind. Lives stolen, families destroyed, futures erased. Kemper didn't just kill his victims, he shattered the illusion of safety. Edmund Kemper's crimes left scars that time can't erase. Not just on Santa Cruz, but on the families who lost daughters, sisters, and futures that were never lived. His story forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about human behavior, warning signs, and how easily evil can blend into everyday life. Behind every headline was a real person whose life mattered. If you found this deep dive informative, help keep these stories from being forgotten. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. More unsettling true crime stories are coming. Stay with us.